Hi everyone, welcome to episode 5 of Cheltenham Chat. A lot of big horses out this week, some making their debuts, some on their second run of the season. I do wonder if I've seen a horse that either other people didn't notice, I've got it wrong. Certainly even the bookmakers seem to have missed it a little bit for me, and I'll talk about him during this episode, but I do wonder if I've got something very wrong or if something's been put in plain sight and people just aren't noticing it. So we'll talk about that as we go through the show. I was hoping to talk about Jolly Coeur as perhaps a mare's novice hurdle contender, but after her run at Tramore, I think we can safely say her level's going to be more likely to be 115 to 130 mare's handicaps, because this was a dismal show, and the ride she received wasn't pretty dismal as well. But yeah, disappointing, very disappointing run from her. After some disappointing short price favourites being beaten, Willie Mullins had a 5-timer at Thurles. I was impressed by Classic Getaway. I think he could be a Ryanair horse, but I've got him wrong before. He's a bit like Grange Clare West, but I have to see this again from him, because he's fooled me once and I don't want to be fooled again. This was a good performance, but he needs to back this up, because like I say, he's fooled me once before, and I won't believe it till I see him putting a run of good performances together. Fun was impressive. She will be a mare's novice contender, but it's hard to judge her on this performance because she didn't really beat very much. And it was similar with Elite Tomp, and he's just never a horse that I've really warmed to. So I'm not really sure about him. I don't know whether he's not a horse for me. I know that probably sounds pretty crass, but yeah, he's just not a horse that I'm in love with, and I wouldn't really have him down as a winner of an Arkle or a Turners, to be quite honest. At Newbury, there was a few races of interest there. Obviously, the big talking horse from this side of the water for JP McManus in the Supreme was going to be Henderson's Jeriko Du Reponet. And he did absolutely nothing wrong. He was extremely professional, won as he liked, jumped very well, quickened nicely, very professional, absolutely nothing that he could pick holes in, really, apart from the horses he ran against, who were not the best bunch. And his main rival tried to run out twice during the race, so it was hard to judge him on this. And he's got quite short now. He's into about, well, it's between 4-1, 7-1. So although it was a very polished professional performance, you hear all about all these other horses as well, like Mirazur West. So another JP horse, but in the Mullins yard. So hard to say on him. Very professional. He's obviously going to have a big say, but is he even the best of the JP contingent? I didn't really think that Dashel Drasher or Paisley Park would win the Stairs. It was disappointing to see Maurice Rock beaten. I thought she got a very strange ride, if I'm honest, Maurice Rock. But she was disappointing in truth, and I couldn't have her for the Stairs hurdle. Hermes Allen similarly looked like he was in big trouble. Nickelback looked to have him in big trouble, but then made a real bad mistake. Hermes Allen, I think, probably he's a little bit better than I'm giving him credit for, but I still don't think he's a Cheltenham winner in waiting. And of the two Nichols novice chasers, I would have Stay Away Faye above him in the rankings. Fairyhouse had a very exciting weekend in Prospect, and it started with a 4-way novice chase with Nick Rocket coming fourth, Monty Star third, Tricard Bragg, and Corbett's Cross, after his initial outing over fences, improved a lot and won nicely. I really was quite impressed with Corbett's Cross. Now, the worry's going to be, is he going to stay out 3 miles? I'm not sure he's good enough to beat Gaelic Warrior and the Turners. 3-card Bragg ran well in his first appearance over fences. I have to say I was well impressed with Monty's Star run. He belted the last. He looked to be going to challenge the front 2 until he did that. Nick Rocket ran well, but I think the one I took out of it was Monty's Star. He's a big price for the Brown Advisory at 33 to 1 for Henry de Bromhead. I wouldn't be ruling him out of that. He's in the same colours as Manila Indo, who finished second in the Brown Advisory and went on to win a gold cap. So there was no money, real money for Monty Star either. So I think I would be upgrading his performance. This was a really good novice chase, and I think the one to take out of it maybe Monty Star. The big clash was Ballyburn against Firefox. It was decided at the second last when Ballyburn made a mistake. Firefox got away a little bit from him, and the deficit between the two just remained the same for the rest of the run-in. Ballyburn tried hard to come back, couldn't quite do it. Firefox, with the benefit of the run, ran him out of it. It was a decent performance, I think, and I have a controversial view that I don't think Firefox or Ballyburn will win at Cheltenham. As good as both of them are, and I heard other people talking about this as being Fernie Hollow against Bob Ollinger when they both won at Cheltenham, and they think this could be the same with Firefox and Ballyburn. I have the opposite view. I think Firefox benefited from the run, may not beat Ballyburn again. I don't think Ballyburn's a supreme horse, and I'm not convinced he can win a Ballymore either. So for me, the first of 2 races where I think the front 2 won't win at Cheltenham, the other one also controversial, I'll stick with my view that neither will win at Cheltenham, although they're both good horses. On Sunday at Fairyhouse, Far and Glory won the Royal Bond. I thought this was weak before the race, and I'm still convinced it's weak. King of Kingsfield looked to be coming with a winning run, and again grabbed defeat from the jaws of victory. He just doesn't seem to want to win. Far and Glory outstayed him. Like I say, I don't think this was the best of races. Antabar had that injury. I've been told to stay away from Antabar, and I'm glad I have. I'm thankful to someone who told me don't get sucked in by this horse. He's a bit of a liability, and so it proved today, but I'm not convinced this was the best of races. In the Drinmore, I really thought Found a 50 would win this race. I was disappointed he was beaten by I Am Maximus. Connections, so let's be clear about it, probably know now that he's probably more of a grade 2, grade 3 horse. I Am Maximus, an Irish Grand National winner, is now beating a horse who I thought could be a Turner's contender. I know he's 156 rated and Found a 50's run a decent race, really, considering he's hit the second last and the last, which probably cooked his goose a little bit. I was disappointed he couldn't win. I wouldn't give up on Found a 50, but I just thought he was good enough to win this race, and he hasn't. In the Harton's Grace, with a slow pace, I thought, well, this is turning into a bit of a sort of sprint now, and it was really all played into the hands of Impaire Passe, and he still didn't win. People will point to Hupu being a stayers hurdle contender, and he's outstayed Impaire Passe, but for me, I don't think either of these two are going to win at Cheltenham. Now, I know that talking about Firefox, Ballyburn, Hupu and Impaire Passe and saying that they don't think any of them is going to win at Cheltenham is very controversial. But I can't see Impaire Passe, if he can't win this race on a slow pace, being able to put it up to Constitution Hill. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that I'd put Stateman above him on this performance. I think Stateman would have beaten Tahipu today. So disappointed with Impaire Passe. Now, I don't think Tehupu is a 3-miler. I think he's a 2.5-mile horse. He's won this for the second year in a row. He's stayed on strongly at Fairyhouse over 2 miles forward, but that does not mean he's going to win a Stayers Hurdle at Cheltenham over 3 miles, because this was a bit of a crawl and it's going to be a championship pace 3-miler. I know it's controversial. I know people are going to say that I'm wrong, but that's my view. I just have this feeling that although all 4 of those horses I mentioned are really, really good horses from 2 different races, I just don't think they're going to win at Cheltenham. Now, that to many people is going to seem like just ridiculous, but that's my view. I do wonder if the best way to say hidden is to be in plain view. I really wonder if Daddy Longlegs is the best 2-miler novice at Willie Mullins. And he's just thrown him out into a race at Thurles on Thursday. I was really impressed. Now, I don't see others talking about this horse. I don't see mad hype about this horse. Yet he's won a really decent maiden hurdle really easily against decent horses. Like, Irish Panther's not a mug. Cletus Pulo, I was told, was going to come on a lot for his first run. Now, he did make a horrendous error, Cletus Pulo, and he got really out of his ground. But the turn of foot showed by Daddy Longlegs, now he's got room for improvement in his jumping because he wasn't foot perfect. And I know that people will say Jeriko Du Reponet was, but Jeriko Du Reponet wasn't running against good horses, whereas Daddy Longlegs was. Now, I cannot work out the 20-1, 16-1 quotes for this against the 4-1 to 6-1 sort of quotes for Jeriko. Ballyburn has been beaten by Firefox and looking like he's probably a Ballymore or a Bartlett horse, to be honest. So I wonder if Willie Mullins has just pushed this horse out into this race, and it seems like nobody's noticed that this was a good performance. Then again, it could be just all in my mind and I've got it all wrong. We'll have to wait, a few months yet to see who's right. But I was impressed with his performance. I was impressed with the interview with Townend. He seemed really impressed with the horse and liked his performance, liked the way he did it. And he talked him up a little bit. And I can't work out, because I seem to be the only person talking about Daddy Longlegs. Everyone else seems to have thought this was just a poor race at Thurles and, a nothing race. So it remains to be seen if I'm right or if everybody else is right. Probably everybody else is right, but I'll go with my own judgment and think that Daddy Longlegs is a good horse. I'll admit I've had a few quid on him, but that's probably going to mean he's going to be out next week. But I was impressed, and that's all I can say. I was impressed with Daddy Longlegs. I'm not taking away from Jeriko Du Reponet's performance in any way, but if you made me pick between the 4, Firefox, Ballyburn, Jeriko and Daddy Longlegs, I'd be on Daddy Longlegs. And he's the biggest price out of the 4 for the Supreme. So I'll stick with that. I'll anticipate a lot of comments saying I'm wrong, especially probably about Tehupu in the Stayers. But that's my view on this week. I hope you enjoyed this weekend, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching. I'll be back to you next week. Bye for now.